You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, General Hospital fans, we have got your weekly prediction edition. We are going to talk about Ava raging at Alexis for pulling a double cross and Jordan gambling with her life. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. We've got predictions for Christina, for Alexis and Ava, for new guy Professor Dalton, for Jordan and Sidwell, and also for Sonny and Dante. And hey, if you're not following us, please reach down, click that subscribe button. Let's get started with our very first prediction. Christina Corinthos goes berserk when she is committed to Shady Brook. So we've got some spoilers about this. On Monday, April 14th, Molly's talking to Christina about one good thing coming out of Rick's accident being the operative word. It was very much an on purpose. And Christina is looking a little uncomfortable about it. I noticed last week talking with Dante that, you know, she was completely blasé about the fact that she caused that wreck. But when it's face-to-face with Molly, it's a little different. On Tuesday, April 15th, Alexis is wrestling with her conscience about what she's planning to do to her daughter. And on Thursday, April 17th, Sonny is hosting a party, and that might be when this all goes down. So last week, which I had done a special video on this because I thought it was coming. Yes, indeed, Christina's murder plot has inspired Alexis to agree to involuntarily commit her daughter to Shady Brook. Diane suggested it and spelled out all the reasons that it would help Christina and it would set up the insanity defense they might need if it came down to it, which I also mentioned in that video. And it looks like it's all going to work out that way. And Alexis told Diane, go ahead and start the papers. And I think it'd be pretty dramatic to have the orderlies from Shady Brook pick Christina up at the party that Sonny hosts for Dante. But that's probably a little too heavy-handed, a little dramatic. I'd like to see it happen that way, but I don't think it will. Christina is going to be furious to be committed. I think she will come completely unhinged, will rage at her mom, will rage more about Ava, and I think that may cement for Alexis that it was actually the right thing to do. All right, and speaking of her, our second prediction is that Alexis infuriates Ava, who turns around and targets Sonny next. So on Monday, April 14th, spoilers say Ava tries to soothe Rick, who is worried. He thinks that Ava is being overly confident when she thinks that Alexis is going to steal money from the Cassadine estate to pay her millions of dollars to be quiet and keep Christina out of prison. And Diane has pointed out to Alexis she cannot keep fixing all these problems for Christina the way that she has been because it's not helping. It's making things worse. It's leading Christina to do more outrageous things because she has never had any accountability or faced really any consequences. And Ava is going to be angry that Alexis tried to outplay her by sticking Christina in Shady Brook so that even if Ava goes to the cops, the insanity defense is set up and Ava gets no money. So I think it'd be interesting if she crashed the party to blackmail Sonny with the same evidence that she showed Alexis. And once she finds out what she and Diane are planning, you know, I don't think Alexis is going to tell Ava that she's planning to commit her just like, I don't care what you say, I'm not going to do this, go ahead and go to the cops if that's what you want. And Alexis, I think, is ready to fight on this. And if Ava shows all this to Sonny, boy, that's going to be a really hard thing for him to have to deal with, considering everything else he's dealing with. Our third prediction, Professor Dalton is an eco-terrorist. So on Tuesday, April 15th, we're going to meet a brand new character, Professor Henry Dalton, who is played by the very handsome Daniel Goddard. I really like this guy. He's coming over to General Hospital. He used to be on Young and the Restless, but he was let go there several years ago, like 2020, 2021. It's been a few years. He's a great actor. He's an Aussie. He may be using a U.S. accent. We'll see. Emma is quite keen on his class, and she's kind of an eco-terrorist herself, if you think about it. And I'm sure she thinks of herself as a eco-warrior, but she's rationalizing things she's doing that are a little too extreme. The WSB has a reason to want the guy watched. In an interview with TV Insider, Daniel Goddard was talking about Professor Dalton, his new character, having some sketchy things in his background that are why the WSB is investigating him. And Joss has been ordered to become his assistant and to get close to him. And she's been told failure is not an option. So there is something really up with this guy for him to be under this kind of scrutiny. And I looked up his specialty, environmental physics. It's very, esoteric when you look at what it is. A lot of it is not hard science. It's like theoretical stuff. And a lot of it centers around a lot of things that people debate very heavily: climate change, environmental things. Everybody's got an opinion, so we'll see how it goes. Our fourth prediction: Jordan is playing a dangerous game with Sidwell. On Monday, April 14th, Laura's going to warn Sonny about the referendum and that the pier is going to be up for a public vote for the Esplanade project. She's under scrutiny. Sidwell is an issue. Boyle is an issue. So she is going to give him a heads up. And this, of course, is all part of Jordan's plan. Wednesday, April 16th, Curtis is suspicious of Jordan. And Friday, April 18th, spoilers, have Jordan getting a tempting offer. So sometime this week, we're going to get the public scene with Laura and Jordan where they have the showdown over Sonny, and Jordan publicly criticizes Laura and she fires her. Nobody's going to like this, but Jordan feels it's very important. And the thing about her, if you don't remember her history, she kind of was a dirty cop before. If you remember from her past, the whole reason Cyrus Renaud got out of prison at all when he had been this heinous drug dealer was because Jordan did some dirty cop stuff to put him away. I'm trying to remember, I think she falsified evidence because they couldn't get real evidence, even though they knew he was definitely guilty. So Jordan is going to cross lines, and she might be in real danger if she goes too far. We know Sidwell can be evil and downright murderous, so she is playing a very dangerous game. Our fifth and final prediction: Sonny collapses at Dante's party. So on Monday, April 14th is when Sonny gets this bad news from Laura. Thursday, April 17th, Sonny's hosting Dante's birthday party. He's still fine on Friday, April 18th, because Sonny's confiding in Carly. So Dante's party is coming right at the same time Alexis is planning to involuntarily commit Christina. Ava is upset she's not going to get the payday she wants from Alexis, which of course Rick warns her wasn't going to be so easy. Ava may snap and decide that she's going to skip the Molly threat because telling Rick's daughter that Christina cut his brake lines isn't going to get her the cash she needs, but Sonny does have the money. So I feel like Ava might go over there, crash the party, show him the video and say, look, you pay me off or I'm going to send Christina to prison, and if you try and kill me, if you try to hurt me, if you make any threats, I've made arrangements that the video will go public. I've got the car stashed away where you cannot get to it, so you're in a corner. This might just be too much for Sonny, and he may actually collapse at Dante's birthday party. I do expect him to need emergency surgery before he gets the surgery he's planning to have in a month. And with sweeps coming, near-death stuff is always a big thing.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.